So a breakdown on one front with the EU deal. We've seen a compromise, though, between the government and the Australian Hotels Association this afternoon. Let's bring in the CEO, Stephen Ferguson, of the AHA. Stephen, appreciate your time. This is a significant development. I know you've had concerns about the government's Closing the Loopholes bill, but they've agreed with you that casuals should be protected, those that want to stay casual, Stephen.
That's right, Kieran. Look, many industry groups have expressed concern at the way the casuals portion of the Closing Loopholes bill has been drafted. The government has listened to us, and what they've done, there are two key sections in the bill, one of which will be removed, and that's the section that relates to civil penalties of up to $93,000, where a business such as a hotelier mistakenly classified someone as a casual when they should have been a permanent. Those problems, those errors, those disputes will now just remain with the Fair Work Commission, the independent umpire, and they'll be able to settle any questions around that. The second section has been amended, and that was the definition, the definition around casuals. Now, the definition of casuals has been amended to now include a whole range of various indicators. And one of those indicators was that anyone who worked a regular pattern of work as a casual could not be a casual anymore. They should have to have been a permanent. Now, the problem for that was we have about 250,000 workers in our industry. At least 60% of those are casuals, and they want to be casuals mostly because they get a holiday, they get loading, 25% loading on all their pays, and they have the capacity to reject shifts. That was being put at risk by saying that anyone, for example, say a university student who said to an employer, look, I don't want to work Monday to Friday, I'm happy to work every Saturday, Sunday. If the employer had given them only Saturday, Sunday shifts, the employer was at risk of the penalties regime of not offering them full-time employment.
So you've been placated in terms of the treatment of casuals, so that's good news. A lot of industry groups have more broad concerns in relation to Closing the Loopholes bill. Are you satisfied now that this casuals issue has been dealt with, that this legislation stacks up?
I think so, Kieran. Look, we understand the reason why the government is concerned about casuals. If you're a casual, it's very difficult to get a bank loan. If you're a permanent, it's a lot easier. We just think that this was an area that perhaps just needed to be clarified. The government have done that. As I say, many industry groups, not just hotels, but in the agriculture sector, restaurants and others were concerned. Minister Tony Burke said it was never intent to stop people working as casuals if they wish to do so. And he's listened to us, and he's agreed to amend the bill. So it's a win for workers, especially those who want to stay casual, and it's a win for employers where they can have the flexibility to put staff on when they need them.
And finally, we've discussed migration numbers recently, had a really tough spot off the back of COVID with no one coming in. Are things getting back to an even keel now?
Yes, we are. But I mean, many industries will tell you, whether they're veterinarians, motor mechanics, chefs, in our case, chefs, cooks, hotel managers. Australia is still screaming out for skills and labour. It's really important that we're able to keep bringing in that working holiday makers can work, and that international students can work, and that we can bring in specific skills as we need them. Australia's, I think, the employment rate at the moment is about 3.5%. Many of our employers, sort of west of the, west of the Great Divide and in rural and remote areas, are struggling to find workers. And Australia relies on having a significant number of international workers coming here, and many of them come here and want to make their home here, and they turn out to be great Australians. And we need to make sure that the employers are able to keep bringing the right people into the country.